This is a video response to DC 1983 and his recent video about motion controls versus traditional controls as far as consoles, not keyboard and mouse, not touching that because kind of a death trap. But anyway, um, basically, up in PLG, we're kind of having, I guess, the sort of debate about, like it was like about his video before that, about what is next gen, and I was making the case that basically Nintendo's idea of changing controls, is just as important as the, I guess you say, traditional thinking of upgrading graphics and all the other stuff that people typically expect from a new generation. I was always saying how adding two controls or making new ways of playing in terms of controls is just as important as you know as all the other stuff, because let's face it, we've been using dual analog controls for about like 3 generations now. Like, and it's and games have pretty much gotten stale. Like, it's just like you can pick up a game and it'll be very similar to a game that you played about some other game that you played before, of the same genre, because the controls in general have just been the same. It's People are just used to aiming with the stick and that's it. As far as shooters, of course there's other stuff like that. Also, in terms of adventure games, it's pretty much you can kind of just press buttons and just pretty much just get it. You don't have to learn anything new. Kind of drifting off though, but yeah. Basically, what I was getting at is like, hey, new controls add new gameplay possibilities that the controls that we've been using for like the past 3 generations can't really provide. And I kind of took a liking to the Wiimote because certain games provide an experience that a traditional control can't provide. And to clarify one point, the main point that me making about most controls being superior, I more so meant that towards shooters, because that's really the only thing that the Wiimote has actually, I can say, proven to be able to do everything, and not only just do everything, but actually exceed to what traditional controls can do as far as shooters. And example of that, which I always bring up, is Red Steel 2. Red Steel 2 allows you to do everything that a traditional control can do, but also being able to accurately and precisely, like do sword-based attacks. You know, so if I see an enemy, instead of just pressing the button to swing the sword, I can just take Wiimote and accurately slice him in a direction, and he'll also be blocking. So I have to actually, if you played Skyward Sword, what I'm talking about. He blocks a certain way. You have to kind of block in a way, attack in a way that goes against that. That's a new gameplay possibility. That's a new gameplay. New gameplay possibility that a traditional controller cannot really replicate, or even it just can't do that. Now onto DC's point of being able to play fighters. It's true. Like technically you can play fighters on with the Wiimote. Like on Smash Bros, you can play fighters with the Wiimote. There are people who are actually really good with the Wiimote, which also supports this point of, like, it pretty much all goes down to skill. And I agree with that. It does 100% comes down to skill. Somebody can pick up an SNES controller and try and play a shooter, like, will it be difficult? Yes, but if he beats you, that's just pure skill, and so yeah, like, I used to say Wiimote isn't ideal for shooters. I mean, Wiimote isn't ideal for fighters. And I used to say also, I guess you can also say adventure games, but even then, it's pretty much just all comes down to developers. I used to say, like, imagination, because You can tell, if you play like a Mario game, hey, because like you're mostly using buttons, you're not really using motion that much other than to do like a little spin attack. That is an adventure game that you're doing with the Wiimote. I guess this adds like a different aspect to, adventure games. And the way I see it, like there is a place for motion control. I just feel as if developers aren't doing anything with it. It seems as if they just want to stick with just traditional controls, and I'm bored with them. It's like every single game I feel as if they're the same. But when I play a game like Red Steel 2, it's completely new, and it's like I see so much potential with it that developers just aren't touching. I play Skyward Sword, and it's like, holy snap, like I played the past, Zeldas, and those were great, but those were back then. They've done everything they could do with those Zeldas. Like, there's nothing more you can do with the controls for those Zeldas. Those Zeldas are those Zeldas with those specific controls. But Skyward Sword is a completely it's a completely new control for, for a new Zelda. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you're not going to get the same experience, and you shouldn't get the same experience, because if all you want is just an Ocarina of Time with upgraded graphics, you can just, I guess, I'm pretty sure there's an Ocarina of Time somewhere online. You can download for free. You can just do pull Black Mesa. You got Black Mesa. They took the original Half-Life and they just upgraded the graphics. There you go. You got yourself, you get like a little port for the N64 controller, and there you go. Now, is it legal? I guess not, but still, like, it wouldn't be much of a difference, because that's literally all they would be doing. It's just taking Ocarina of Time, upgrading the graphics, and all this other stuff, but the controls will be the same, so it'll still be the same game. It just looks pretty. That's what I'm saying. Like, new controls have new control aspect possibilities. So, I guess to return to the point, like I said, most controls, they may not be able to do everything, but there are things that it can do that traditional controls cannot, and I want to see that being expanded. See, when I play Call of Duty, on the Wii, I'm as you would expect some Wii capabilities, like some things that the Wii can do that traditional controls can't do, because the whole idea of most controls is to bring a new, way of playing. And so far, the only thing they've actually gotten, they've actually done with Call of Duty as far as most controls is motion-based pointing, and a lot of people, they're really not even used to that, And when I posted the article about was it Killzone 3 developers, they were talking about how basically what they were saying was that they were stronger, not that they were vastly superior. They were making headshots like crazy. They were saying, that hey, like, they're stronger. They can aim more accurately, more precise. There are certain shots that are kind of like, if when you have like debates against, like mouse versus the standard gamepad. There are certain things that the standard gamepad can't do. Analog sticks cannot really, aim as precisely as a mouse. And does that mean that a gamepad player is going to lose against a mouse player? No, like you said, that's true. That he's not going to doesn't guarantee a win for the mouse player. You still have to work for it. It's just easier, and it makes the gamepad player, the analog player, actually have to try harder.